morning, everyone. Wednesday morning, and we're in Mississippi. I'm empty. You know, I made that delivery late yesterday at the Home Depot. They're in Saltillo, Mississippi, and just drove like less than 10 miles to get to a Love's right here on I-22 near Tupelo. Spent the night, and I'm on my way to Bruce, Mississippi, to a Weyerhaeuser plant. We're getting a load of lumber. I've been to this place before, but like I say always, it's been a while. And the load goes to Conroe, Texas. So it's a pretty good run. So we're going to get off of I-22 here in about a mile and a half onto Mississippi 9. So it'll be a rural run all the way to Bruce. But I couldn't really get there any earlier. Supposedly they don't start loading until 8 a.m., which is the appointment time they gave me, but I don't really think they go so much by appointment times. As long as you're there, I think they put you in line and load you, but you gotta have an appointment time. Like, you can't show up the day before your appointment time is for. So I wasn't in any big hurry. I mean, it's like 6:20 now. I'll probably be there about 7:30. We'll get the day started. All right, well, here's my exit for Mississippi 9. I'll see you on down the road. Well, guys, I promised you some rural Mississippi roads, and here we are. Beautiful country. So would you rather live in a big city or out here? I'll take out here every time. There's a lot of lumber work out here. I've seen several log haulers already this morning. And you know, I had someone, I'm sorry I forget the name, but somebody emailed me last night saying they lived up in, oh gosh, I don't remember the name of the place, but he said it was about an hour and a half from the Maverick's Portage, Indiana facility. And he was working on getting his CDL and looking at joining Maverick in the future, but was wondering, you know, about parking his truck at the Portage, Indiana Maverick yard on the weekends when he's home. And, you know, would I recommend doing that? And my answer was, you know, that's certainly an option. You could do that, but I would try to find something closer. You know, I don't know what it's like around where you live, you know, what options you have, but I would check into that first. You know, try to find a business or Walmart or, you know, a Home Depot. I even, you know, I live about maybe a mile and a half from an Academy Sports store, and on the weekends I always see a couple of trucks parked there on the end of their lot, you know, so I'm sure, you know, those drivers just got permission, and because they park there about every weekend. And the Home Depot, about 4 miles from my house, there's always a flatbed there. I think it's a TMC parked there on their lot. So it's obviously someone who's gotten permission to do that, because he's there like almost every weekend. But because the last thing you want to do, you know, if you've been out all week driving, you finally get home, the last thing I'd want to do is have to drive an hour and a half more to get home, or on the front end of the week to get to the truck. But it is an option, you know, you can do that. I don't know how hard he's worked so far. Probably not too hard, since he's still early in the process. He's, you know, doesn't even have his CDL yet. So anyway, here's some early morning Mississippi road footage for you. I'm still about 15 minutes from my shipper here in Bruce, Mississippi. Not too much further. Been a real nice drive. Weather's nice. A lot of road work back there though. I got caught for about a mile just having to go like 10 miles an hour behind a road crew truck that was setting out orange cones in the middle of the road. But it's been a pretty good road. There's a couple of buzzards getting them some scraps for breakfast. Alright guys, more later. Okay guys, we're here in Bruce, Mississippi, approaching the entrance to the Weyerhaeuser plant. I believe this is it right here. Okay. Check-in station. Huh. All right, so shipping kiosk, check-in station. Okay. Well, looks like they've moved the check-in station here to the left. It used to be up further ahead, so I'm gonna stop here and try to get checked in. All right, folks. So after waiting about 40 minutes out here in the little holding yard, along with two other drivers, they finally sent us a text message to pull on in. We were all talking about how they've changed their check-in process. But, you know, it's 8:05, so they're pretty much on time bringing us in. So it used to be, when you checked in, you pulled on up about another 100 yards, and they had a little, well, the booth is still here. And as I remember, you radioed in. And then they had you pull up. But the way it works now is they had a little lot right back there where I was parked. They got a little kiosk in there with a couple of computers where you sign in and then they text you when they're ready for you. Here's a tarping station here to the right. We'll be working in there later because this is a tarp load. But for now, we're supposed to pull up to the second stop sign, it says. And you're supposed to stay in your truck, you know, while they're loading you. And then once you're loaded, you're supposed to put, you know, like one strap over each section of lumber, and then pull up to the tarping area and finish. So that was stop sign number 1. And as I remember, once we're loaded, we have to kind of pull up over in here and get our shipping documents. You see there's a sign right there straight ahead. It says shipping office. As I remember, unless they've changed it, you have to go in there before you go up, you know, to scale out and get your paperwork. There's another truck behind me. So we got 4 of us here in line. Hopefully they got multiple loaders on duty. All right, so here's the load line. So I'm number 3. More later. All right, guys, so it's 9 o'clock. And the forklift driver just came to pull me around, so we're an hour after the loading appointment time. Just to give you an idea how it works sometimes. So let's see where we're going here. Looks like we're going to be parked right here. Behind the guy that came in front of me. Give you a shot of the load he's got. Try to get straightened up here a little bit. He said that's good. Okay. Okay, folks, I'm finally loaded. About 10 till 10. And the loader was explaining to me they've kind of changed the checkout process also. So instead of getting my shipping documents over at the shipping office, as I mentioned when I came through, he said you get them after the tarping station. So they make you come out of here in this little tight corner over here. I'm having to wait for forklifts to go by. Barely enough room to make this turn. All these workers around here. All right, so the way it used to work is The shipping office is up here to the right at the end of this building to my right, but he said you don't do that anymore. You come on through here, make a left, and hop on the scale, which there's a truck. I guess I can get by him. The scale is here just past this truck, to the left of this truck. So after I got loaded, they have you put a strap over each section of lumber, so you know, minimal securements. So I've got 3 straps on this load. And you see they got a digital readout there on this little gray building here just past the scale. Okay. Looks like it's reading, I can barely see some of the numbers on the lights because of the sunlight, but looks like it's reading about 75,000 total weight. And the limit is 80,000, so we're good to go. All right, so now we're supposed to proceed. Sign says to stop and blow your horn before crossing here. Pedestrian crosswalk. So I'm just going to pull up here and I'll just park in the middle here, and I'm going to strap before I go into the tarping shed. So I'm going to stop right here and throw my straps. Okay guys, let me show you this load. I've got it secured, about to pull into the tarping area. Got 4 straps on this section, and they don't all match up on each side, but look at this gap they left on this side. That's not bright. But here's the strapping. I put a 2-inch strap back here because our straps won't go past about right here, back here. So show you the other side. See, this side's full, the other side's got a gap in the middle. But all right, let me pull up and get tarped here. All right guys, so I'm finally out of here, tarped and ready to go. Just sent in my paperwork. Okay, sent in my detention pay request because, you know, I've been here for, well, my loading appointment was for 8 and it's 11:07 now, so I should have about, you know, an hour of detention pay. Woohoo! Getting my mapping going here. Okay, so let's hit the road. So had to use my 2 big lumber tarps, of course. You can see they got more trucks trying to back into the holding lot. My GPS says it's a little over 11 hours of drive time to get to this place. I'm gonna have to update my route though at some point, because both my company GPS and my Rand McNally personal GPS say that it's about a 630 mile trip, but the Maverick job says that it's let's see, it's 537, so we're about 100 miles off. And I mentioned that to my fleet manager, and he said he checked it and it shows to be accurate. So at some point when I get down the road here in an hour or two, I'm gonna have to reformulate this trip, because we got 100 miles to make up. All right, let's see if we can get out of this place.